Hey, welcome back. So today I want to check out the new Pulsar Massive and see how it sounds on spoken audio for voiceover work. And also I want to compare it to another great emulation for Manly Massive Passive EQ. And I'm not saying that just because it looks like that's what they emulated. They're actually saying this themselves. All right, so real quick, usually when I process my voiceovers, I'll do a little surgical EQ, I'll add some compression, and then I'll add some, I'll fix some issues, whether it's de-essing, if I need to gate the room. So in this example right here, I'm only going to be using the EQs. I'm not going to do any of the compression, the surgical EQ, none of that. So yeah, this voiceover example, it has issues, it needs fixing, but I just want to focus on what the EQs sound like and what it does. So in this particular case, I decided that I'm only going to be shelving the low and the high. I want to know what it sounds like as it's passing through the plugin without too many adjustments. Again, this voice needs a lot of work, and this EQ is not a surgical EQ. So I'm just looking to give it some air up top and kind of, give it some rounding out the bottom frequencies, hopefully not making it sound too boomy. And we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so quick note. When I was setting up these two EQs, I tried dialing in the same settings for each one, but it didn't render the same results. So I kind of stayed in the ballpark, but then I did my tweaks here and there, and I did it individually. I didn't try to make them sound like each other. So I want you guys to hear the results that come from each one and let you guys judge. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Okay, so now for the next example, I'm going to be pushing the drive a little bit on the Pulsar, and I'm going to turn on the preamp on the Acustica audio. Let's take a listen. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Pulsar Massive is an emulation of the Manly Massive Passive EQ that is present in almost every mastering studio in the world. Okay, interesting. So I know how I feel about this comparison, and I know how I feel about each one of these two plugins, but I want to know what you guys think. So leave me a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay healthy and stay safe.